For today's cup of coffee, I have an article by Nick Redfern, and that's from Mysterious Universe. He had written this September the 9th of 2015. I found this one really interesting, and it's called Peacocks and the Paranormal Realm. I don't own a peacock anything, so we've got a crow in the background. It'll be all right. And Mr. Redfern writes, in the 1898 edition of the book, the Dictionary of Phrase and Fable, which can actually be found online, and you can either go to this article, which the link will be in the description box, and I will try to remember to put a link for the Dictionary of Phrase and Fable, because it's got some pretty interesting things. We are told, quote, the peacock's tail is the emblem of an evil eye or an ever-vigilant traitor. The tale is this. Argus was the chief of minister of Osiris, king of Egypt. When the king started on his Indian expedition, he left his queen, Isis, regent, and Argus was to be her chief advisor. Argus, with 100 spies, called Eyes, soon made himself so powerful and formidable that he shut up the queen regent in a strong castle and proclaimed himself king. Mercury marched against him, took him prisoner, and cut off his head, whereupon Juno metamorphosized Argus into a peacock and set his eyes in its tail. So I thought that was pretty interesting. And the peacock is a seriously strange bird, which has more than a few ties to the world of the paranormal. In 2004, Mr. Redfern had traveled to Puerto Rico with John Dowes of the Center of Fortean Zoology to chase down the chupacabra. While on the island, they investigated the killings of a number of peacocks that all appeared to have been targeted by a deadly beast. And he says targeted for a peculiar reason, that other animals kept by the gentleman were not attacked, as there was something about the peacocks that led them to be singled out by the monster, and he is assuming that it was the chupacabra that had killed the peacocks. Then in 2006, Mr. Redfern spent about 6 months in the UK, and while he was there, a crop circle appeared in a field next to Chartley Castle, and the formation was a classic early circle crop style. And what was more bizarre, there were a number of peacock feathers carefully laid out in the center of the formation, and there were more that were strewn along the side of the road. And Mr. Redfern had no clue what to make of this, but there was a Wiccan lady that he knew that was named Jane Addams, and she had told Mr. Redfern that the peacock feathers had been placed in the circle as a part of some kind of strange and disturbing ritual. The purpose, she had said, was to conjure up bizarre beasts such as an alien big cat, a phantom black dog, and a Bigfoot. So we actually, we did a video, somewhere back, I don't know when, about the phantom black dog stories. So you can search for that. They're on YouTube. And so Miss Jane had said it was a group of occultists that had ties stretching all across the UK that had done this. And there was an English cryptozoologist, my bad, Neil Arnold, and he has a very interesting haircut. His photo is on this article, so it's worth going and pulling up the article just to see that. He had written in his 2012 book, Shadows in the Sky, another bizarre peacock-based affair. And this story surfaced just a few months after the events at Chartley Castle. And Mr. Arnold wrote, quote, one of the most baffling ghost bird stories appeared on the BBC website in November 2006 under the heading, Ghost Peacock Baffles Rescuers. And this is after motorists in East Sussex had claimed to have run over a bird that left no trace. The mystery began when a female witness driving on the A267 near Five Ashes called wildlife rescuers to say she had hit a peacock. The following day, a lorry driver also claimed to have run over a bird. Rescue coordinator Trevor Weeks examined the site of the alleged roadkill, but could find no trace of a bird. The arches of the lorry were examined, but no sign of blood or feathers could be found, end quote. And then in the United States, early on the morning of June 28th, 2007, a peacock turned up outside of a Burger King on Staten Island. And the amazed employees began feeding it. Of course they did. They fed it bread and stuff. And the bird was eating enthusiastically when suddenly a man raced onto the scene and violently and fatally attacked the peacock. And it was discovered that the man was a young schizophrenic who had stopped taking his medication. And he believed that the peacock was a deadly vampire that had to be killed. Delusions, what can you say? And then in 2012, a story appeared in Wisconsin's La Crosse Tribune newspaper, and the article was dated September the 4th and was titled, Sheriff's Department Investigates Sasquatch Sighting. And the newspaper noted, quote, Sheriff's deputies investigated a possible Sasquatch sighting last week near a campsite at the Kickapoo Valley Reserve. The Vernon County Sheriff's Department received the report from just one person who was driving near South Jug Creek Road in the town of Stark, end quote. The police also noted that the same day they had some peacock problems in the county, so it was one of those things where you never know what you're going to get on any given day. And Mr. Redfern continues and he says, so what does all this mean? Does it actually mean anything? And an argument could be made that all of the above amounts to nothing stranger than simply looking for associations between peacocks and paranormal phenomena and eventually finding associations. On the other hand, the fact that these intriguing connections between peacocks and the supernatural suggests that we should at least keep a lookout for further examples of this odd link. So I like peacocks. I know that the sultans used to use them to guard their harems because they make one hell of a noise when they are startled. And if you've ever had the opportunities to see a real peacock, they're incredible. And got to visit some kind of preserve or something outside of Jackson, Tennessee several years ago. And unfortunately, it was closing, so we didn't get to go through the whole facility. But one of the things that we did get to see were the peacocks. And photographs do not do these animals justice. They are just amazing. I would love to have some here, but unfortunately there's about probably a million things that would kill the peacock, including some idiots around here that would probably think that it was funny to come and steal the bird. So we had that happen with guineas one time. Then somebody's dog that was not chained up decided to come and just kill anything. So I'll leave the peacocks into, like some of the zoos and things like that. They're in some of the animal habitats. They're not bad. So this was an espresso shot, and it's okay because it's the weekend, and sometimes we try to do a little bit lighter content and shorter content because we understand that people are, they're trying to rest, they're trying to relax. So, if you go out and buy you a peacock feather, I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, if they're supposed to be kind of cursed. Maybe we need to leave those in somebody else's home. If you've had experiences with paranormal, supernatural, encounters with UFOs, aliens, cryptids, possessed peacocks, if you have local, regional, or family myths or legends, just send us an email to cupofcoffeewithscream@gmail.com. It's cupofcoffeewithscream@gmail.com. If I ever ask that up, that too is in the description box. Know that you're appreciated and loved for taking the time to have coffee with us. And remember to like, share, subscribe, follow, whatever that you would like to do. Give us an update on some of these. If you want to comment in the comment section, that's great also. And we'll see you on the next cup. Have a beautiful, blessed day. Bye.